Greetings, my friends. It's a very sad day today. As the video title says, I just read something so unnerving and unbelievable, it made me question everything I've ever learned. Throughout my life, throughout high school, throughout college, throughout all of the experiences I've had in life, it's made me question every single thing I've ever learned outside of the Bible. So let me read some quotes for you. You have to be scared, forcefully rise up, ramp up resistance everywhere you go. And says we're nearing the moment when elections don't matter, and then the resistance looks completely different. In other words, ultra violent. Next quote. People, you need to forcefully rise up. Next quote. Holding a baseball bat. Told people to fight in the streets. Another one. I'm going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth. Pardon my language. I've got to read the entire quote to you. Next quote. Let your rage fuel you. Next quote. These people are like Nazis, and anyone that supports them are Nazi collaborators. And then they went on to say that their fantasy dream is to take all of these people and their collaborators, put them in prison uniforms, shave their head, and march them down Pennsylvania Avenue so the public can spit on them, everybody. And then, so first of all, everything that I've said to you are all quotes from the Democratic Party, from the DNC chair, Ken Martin, from Chuck Schumer, the Senate Minority Leader, from the House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, from California Governor Gavin Newsom, from Virginia Democrat gubernatorial nominee Abigail Spanberger, and all of the last ones from James Carville, who was the head of the Democratic Party back when Bill Clinton was president. And he finally said at the very end, I couldn't say this, it would give it away. He said that President Trump hates the United States, he said, and Americans should all be living in fear. All the political violence on the rise, these leaders are clearly fueling the mob, trying to get them just going crazy. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I'm an independent. I've voted Democrat. I've voted Republican throughout my life. I don't subscribe to either party. I've never heard anything like this in my entire life. I can tell you right now that Republicans could not stand the fact that Joe Biden was president. Did you hear all this stuff coming out of the Republicans' mouths? Trying to incite riots, trying to incite people to go crazy and punch people in the mouth and with the baseball bats. Did you hear all this kind of stuff? Saying that Joe Biden hated America? President Trump, love him or hate him, he's done a lot of good things. He loves America. You can tell. This is what it boils down to. They're basically pointing towards civil war. Okay? We had a civil war in our country already, and it didn't go very well. Let me tell you right now, as a 20-year veteran with the Marines, I didn't know, I would say out of every 100 people that I knew in the Marines, maybe one was a Democrat. The rest were all Republicans and a few independents. Very few Democrats. If there was a civil war in this country right now, with what's going on, it would probably last about a week. There are so many retired and former veterans like myself, active duty like myself, who are veterans now, who are just special forces, who are regular infantry grunts, whatever you want to say, who are masters at the art of war. And if there was ever a civil war in this country, it would last about a week because it would just be quelled so quickly. All the people who are the experts in this field, 99% of them that I know, are all Republicans or independents like myself. This is just crazy. This makes my brain hurt to read this kind of rhetoric. And I don't see this stuff because I don't watch the news. I go online and find stuff for you guys, but this stuff is all news to me. I haven't heard any of this until today. This is just beyond crazy. I can't believe these people get away with this kind of stuff in the United States. It just dumbfounds me they can say this. I know freedom of speech is there, but can you imagine, go ahead and flip it. Can you imagine if the Republicans were saying this when President Biden was in the White House? Can you imagine what would have happened? Oh, there would have been the biggest outrage you ever heard in your entire life. Threatened to put everybody in jail. There'd be hearings. There'd be all kind of crazy stuff going on. Republicans, for the most part, are civil. I've learned that being an independent because I've voted Republican more than Democrat, but I've voted on both sides of the aisle. But the Democrats don't know how to lose gracefully. It's been shown throughout history in this country. And it's sad, in recent history mostly, and it's sad to see how pathetic people are acting and calling people who support the President of the United States Nazi collaborators. That's just unbelievable. The United States has turned its back on God, and for all intents and purposes. There are still pockets of people who love God here, a few Christians here and there, like myself and a few others. For the most part, America has turned its back on God, and God said, if you turn your back on me, I give you the devil as your default. And the devil is having a heyday in this country. He's had people speaking in dark sentences, losing their minds, talking just crazy stuff like I've been reading to you. And it's just totally off the hook and outrageous. And I'm questioning everything I've ever been taught in school. I've ever been learned about civility and about elections having consequences. And if your candidate doesn't win, you suck it up for 4 years and try again next time. And you don't get violent, and you try to get along and help things work on both sides of the aisle. That stuff doesn't exist anymore. It's insanity. The patients have taken over the lunatics have taken over the asylum, and it makes me sad to see how this country has turned into a hellhole and a festering cesspool. When one side of the aisle is trying to fix things, the other side is trying to tear it down. It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be working together. And it's just not working. And I am so tired of seeing this happening. I can't wait to get out of here. I can't wait for the rapture. I can't wait to go home to heaven and be away from this cesspool. This country, I don't recognize it anymore. I don't recognize this country that I fought 20 years and numerous frontline combat tours for. I don't recognize it anymore. The rapture is imminent. Christians, make sure your hearts are pure. Make sure you're living for Jesus Christ. You're saved by His precious blood. You're witnessing and praying for the lost night and day. Stay in God's Word. Stay in prayer. And make sure that you are just keeping your lamps filled with oil like the wise virgins and just repenting of sins you know only commit after you're saved. Stay close to Jesus Christ and lead as many who are lost without Jesus to Him before it's too late, all for God and all for His glory, because the rapture is imminent, and if whoever's not ready is going to be left behind. There's so much going on in the world today, end time stuff. I share it every day. This is also end time stuff. This is showing you how God will just cause people to just lose their mind in the last days. They will just utter nonsense and just act like uncivilized and out of control. The Bible prophesied this. It's happening right now before our very eyes in my own beloved country that I fought for 20 years for. Jesus Christ is our only hope. If you've never been saved, you're backslidden, pray the prayer, do the 6 steps in the box, put a video. No one's guaranteed more time in your life. If you'd like prayer, contact me. I pray for you every day. I love you with all my heart, and look up true Christians. Our redemption draweth nigh, we fly to me. God bless you. Thanks for watching and sharing. Shaking my head, SMH, no LOL. Bye.